Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 7 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Today I want to look at a quote on patience. It's by the author Joyce Meyer, and she says, "Patience isn't the ability to wait. It's the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting." I love that because when I do my presentations, by the way, I'll ask people, what are the qualities and characteristics we want to be able to access in order to bring our best to life, in order to be successful, in order to be happy? What would we teach to those we love? And patience is almost always one of the first 2 or 3 things that people say. So there's a recognition of the value of patience. And yet, have you noticed that sometimes being patient just doesn't feel great? It feels powerless. It feels passive. It feels like we're not really in charge. And probably that's because in certain situations where we need patience, traffic, dealing with situations that we don't control, we frankly aren't in charge. And yet, if we hold on to this belief that patience is somehow something we are forced to do or we're supposed to do, young man, you should be more patient and, then we just really won't do it, because it feels powerless. So what I suggest we do is we inject power into it. Because if we have chosen to wait, and that's a choice that we make, I gotta wait on this, I have to wait on this. Well, be careful about that, because when we say have to, we say we have no choice. And frankly, we don't have to. We could go do something else. We could not do whatever it is. Now that might be consequences that we wouldn't want. So we are choosing to wait. If we are choosing to wait, would we teach patience if someone was with us? If our kids or someone we love were saying, hey, teach me how to be patient in this situation, or teach me how to keep this situation from stressing me out or driving me crazy. So if patience is indeed a virtue that we really want to be able to access, I think we've got to change it from powerless, passive, doing nothing to, okay, I've got this time, how do I want to use it? Is there a problem I kind of want to run over in my mind? Is there a situation I want to have some clarity about? Do I just enjoy observing people? It's one of the things that I notice I really love. And it may have something to do with me as a psychologist, but I know other people who aren't psychologists just love to people watch. I love to watch interactions. I love to watch body language. I love to get a sense of what's going on in their minds. So for me, that's fascinating. And I use it as a time when I'm in line at the grocery store or in situations like that where I can, in the airport, I do a lot of traveling. So there's a lot of time I'm going through security. I am practicing patience, but I want to have a good attitude. My son, Christopher, who I love, a 27-year-old guy, great guy, talked about kind of impatience. And he said, Dad, you can be impatient, you just don't get stressed out about it. So, hey, yeah, I think that's important. Sometimes I do kind of want things to move along, so there's a certain amount of impatience there, but I don't get stressed out about it. I keep a good attitude even when I'm wanting things to move along. And I think a lot of people go, really? Is that possible? Isn't kind of impatience go along with a bad attitude? So I think that's what we got to look at. If we want patience, or even if we want to be impatient but still have a good attitude, I think that's what got to be our goal. So now we have to ask ourselves, what does that look like? If I were practicing this, if I were teaching this, how could I have a good attitude while I am practicing patience? One of the things I love to do is to make sure that when I have an opportunity to wait, I have something to do, whether it's observing others or if I'm in traffic, I'm listening to a book on tape. So I'm very rarely just doing nothing, because nothing for me is no fun. I like to be doing something. So that really helps me practice patience, because if I'm in traffic and all of a sudden it comes to a stop and I'm listening to this book, okay, well, yeah, I'm not going where I really want to go at the moment, but hey, the book's pretty cool. So see if we can begin to create experiences in our life where a good attitude or a positive attitude, and not, young man, you should have a positive attitude, but just feeling good versus feeling bad. I mean, if we were choosing between those two, wouldn't we choose the one where we felt better? If we make that our highest purpose, if we make that important in our life, we can pull that off. If someone said, I'm going to pay you $10 million to have a good attitude while you're waiting online in situations for the next 2 months. Is that a bet we would take? In a heartbeat, right? And you think we could pull it off? Absolutely. So what this is all about is how important is our attitude? How important is our peace of mind? How important is our state of mind? And that is something I think if we make our highest purpose, we can do a lot of good in the world for ourselves and others, because we're bringing the best of who we are, what I call the top of the mind, this clear, confident, creative, compassionate part of who we are to everything we do. So if this is something you would like, if this is something you would teach to someone you love, I encourage you to look for opportunities to practice that patience. Look for opportunities to practice having that attitude that you would teach to someone you love while you're waiting on some particular situation. Anything we practice, we get good at, and wouldn't it be cool if this just becomes our default position whenever we are practicing patience or whatever in a situation where we're waiting on something, we're fine with it. It's just not a problem. If that's something you like, please hit the like button. You know how I love it when people like my videos. And if you really like it, share it with your friends if you think this would be valuable for them. If you want me to come and do a presentation to your organization on how to keep that attitude in the middle of challenging situations, and maybe even how to deal with other people who have a little challenging attitude, how to maybe engage them in a way where they shift from what I call the resistant brain to the receptive brain. Any of that, just go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford. I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in, and I'd love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity about the kind of attitude you want to have in going into situations where you are needing to be patient, wanting to be patient. Confidence in your ability to do that, creativity to the process, more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.